This is a short little part 2 for our free Noel class. I just wanted to show the finished piece and talk about a couple of little tips about the resin. This is the piece that I did is the 5x7 option. So I can't remember exactly. I think that KsResin suggested something like 1.6 ounces of resin. I mixed 2 ounces. um, I like to have a little bit extra. I'd prefer to have extra than have to go back and remix. So I always have little molds out. Let me grab one. These are kind of big snowflake molds. So I just pull out a mold and use those for any leftover resin. So I never worry about having too much. But let's go ahead and pull the piece in so you can see it all finished. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So here it is. And as I mentioned in the class, I did go ahead. It's got these little pieces of the faux evergreen have just been floating around my studio. So I do go ahead and stain the back. There's the bevel again. But it really turned out really, really pretty. I did go ahead after I resined, and I just added in a few of these little AB beads. Let me show them to you. I love these. They're a perfect little sprinkle for around the piece. They just add a little bit extra to all the negative space that's around it. So I like what those did. I did just want to be sure to touch on using a heat gun around a piece like this. Of course, this faux pine that we used has kind of a nylon property. So we don't want to get the heat gun anywhere close to the wreath on this because those green pieces will curl and be affected by the heat very, very easily. The other issue that I did have with this piece, and it was kind of right in this E. Once I poured resin, I could see a little bit of residue that I'm assuming was from the laser. It was very, very subtle, but I'm kind of a perfectionist, unfortunately. So all I did was just took a little tongue depressor, scooped out a little bit of that resin that had a little bit of the residue, and then just made sure that the resin was covering there. Again, just re-drizzled a little bit more resin. But you can see what the resin just adds such a sparkle to it. I love the dimension of the letters. You can see the dark edges of the letters from the laser really make it stand out too. So when I pour the resin on a piece like this, I just try to make sure to be careful drizzling the resin over. I don't want to drizzle the resin so that it touches my frame. I don't tape it. If any resin does accidentally get on my frame, I just use a paper towel with a little bit of alcohol on it to wipe over it. So I don't do a lot of extra taping. And if I'm just a little bit careful, I don't ever have any problem. And then as far as the back goes, I didn't have any issue with any resin seeping through at all. But if you do on your frame, it's not a problem. Just sand it a little bit and then restain it if you need to. If you are sanding anything that does have resin on it, make sure that you wear a mask. You don't want to breathe in those particles of the resin. I think it turned out really, really great. I hope that you enjoyed this class. I hope that you'll make some. I've gotten quite a few orders for this wood cutout, so I'm excited to see what everyone else does with this piece. It has a lot of options. There are a lot of different things that you can do color-wise, and even wreath-wise in the center of this piece. You could certainly use the O. If you order the wood cutouts, you do get the O shape. And the other thing that you could do is combine it with some of our other wood cutouts. The Christmas stockings piece that we are offering right now, that's the class that I'm currently teaching, it has some little gifts as part of that cutout. And those would be so cute underneath of this, making it maybe a little bit of a bigger piece and doing 3 gifts along the bottom. So there's lots of different things to do, and I hope that you'll have a great time with it. Show me what you make. I can't wait to see.